About to go to an event. Making myself sharing an event name. What's the name of the event? Sure. Not in the event. Okay.
Trying to love myself, and I'm trying to love more people. One purpose, one mission. I'm gonna try to love myself, and I'm gonna try to love more people as equal. I'm gonna try to love myself, and I'm gonna try to love more people. I'm gonna be with my love. I'm gonna live with my heart. I'm gonna live with my home. I'm gonna live with my clothes. I'm gonna live with my dreams. I'm gonna live with my loss. I'm gonna live with my plans. I'm gonna live with my ways. How many times people hate me, watch and cry? I can remember so much pain I can't deny. What does it do for a spirit with love? Oh, no. I can be same one week, always big sides. Somebody people me, I'm sure I'm waiting. Not something fiction, no one I can. Somebody said I'm not trying to love myself. I wanna try to love people. Let this place win today. One race in one life and one time and one God. I'm sure I'm not waiting for how to listen. One instant mission, one purpose. Try to love myself, try to love people. And she was. Then I'm gonna try to love myself. I'm gonna try to love one purpose. One mission. Try to love myself, I'm gonna try to love people. This space, then I'm gonna try to love myself. I'm gonna try to love people. I'm gonna beg it on my way. I'm gonna beg it on my way. I'm gonna beg it on my way. Let this bitch win today. Let this love win today. Let this bitch win today. Let this joy win today. Let this bitch win today. One race and one life and one time and one God would please don't let this day win today. One race and one life and one time and one God one God I can get up that to one race. One race and one life and one time and one God would please. If you do not believe, one race and one life and one time and one God would please don't let this day win today. One race and one life and one time and one God would please. I thank you for this life, the life you
Let's go visit didn't want to, and God had something to say about that. And the song came out of my spirit really at the end of 2005 when I visited in December and finished it. The first song I ever finished here in Los Angeles in early 2006, City of Angels, and it just speaks to the call that God put on my heart, the clarity of him saying, you're moving there, and me knowing that he's saying it, so I'm excited, but then knowing all the implications of life, right? Of the questions, of the how, of the money, of the young children, and just the unknowns. And I'm thankful that I say yes in faith and walk it out as well. It's been a beautiful journey, and in a lot of ways, just getting started. Just feeling like I'm getting into what and why he called me here. All praise to the face. Some say you don't understand. That's okay. Don't know it all myself, but I know I gave my life so I can be the shining light. So when you send me tonight and you hold me, my son, I won't leave you. Say go to the city of angels, the city of angels, where I'm faithful, city of strangers. Open your arms to them, city of mountains, please lift them higher, city of sunshine. Why don't you shine for him, for him? Why don't you shine for him, for him? Why don't you shine for him? So where do you see me tonight? Have you called me my son? Baby, I wanna be you. Go to the city I know. I need one thing, the others is me. I was hurting and I could not breathe. I was living but I was not free. I was talking but I could not breathe. I was looking but I could not see. Till I said goodbye to me. And now I know one thing, I know that you love me. I was standing with a broken heart. I was rolling with a tainted soul. Focus, but you gave me hope. But focus, come and take me home. Goodbye to me. Goodbye to me. 'Cause I just need one thing, that is you love me. I just need one thing, that is you love me. I just need one thing, that is you love me. I just need one thing, that is you love me. I just need one thing, that is you love me. I was hurting and I could not breathe. I was living but I was not free. I was talking but I could not be. I was looking but I could not see. I was hurting and I could not breathe. I was living but I was not free. I was talking but I could not be. I was looking but I could not see.
We are here. We are here in the first ever 8 hours to choose. You're here with me. I'm here with you. We're getting it going. You let me know if it's busting your eardrums. I go up, I go down, and I'm just happy to be here with you. And it's your brother. If you do not know me, if you're just watching this for the first time, My name is Richard John Relaford, aka Rich Rel, and how we got here is an interesting story, and really what this is about. So first of all, we're only going to be 30 minutes today. 30 minutes today originally, but then the 8 hours are going to be spread over the 8 hours coming up, 1 hour a day for the preceding 8 days. And I don't have to tell you where we are right now in our world or in our country, right? But what I always like to do in this conversation, or in conversation about society or humanity as a whole, and centering around, right, reconciliation, racial reconciliation, human reconciliation, gender reconciliation, like all those areas of tension with the way we both experience things, how we look on the outside, what our vocation is, our location is, our country, all those things that can be false degrees, as I call it, false degrees of separation. I like to start off with unity and say that if you're watching this live, whether we have similar faith or not, whether we're the same gender or not, same ethnicity or not, have experienced similar things or not, we're both alive. We're human beings. And I believe with everything in me that we were made with the same love and intention, with the same value, but with specific and beautiful uniqueness. It's the both and of that conversation. And I want to start with this, and it's not insignificant, the date that we're doing this. And it came to me in the midst of being in Mission One Race. And again, I always like to explain Mission One Race, meaning Mission One Human Race. Not about assimilation, not about colorblindness at all. It's about the opposite of that. Taking all the good and erasing all the bad that we both, through stereotypes and other influences, put on people before we even open their mouths. We like to call them definitive words and categories. We all do it. We all have some biases that we have to constantly keep in line and check and journey away from and journey towards oneness. So you're going to hear a lot of these concepts over these days, but again, how did we get here? Years ago, there was a moment where I said, I really like living in the United States of America, but I'm very confused. Our nation, more so than anywhere else in the world, seems to be like bipolar. I'm not even joking. Like, if you look at the humanitarianism and the amount of help that we provide locally, globally, right, worldwide, the amount of people we say that are of faith, specifically Christian, I think over 100 and something million, 300,000 churches, but as well mosques and other places of worship. It's second to none. It's second to none, right? But then if you look at the hate, the separation, the segregation, the struggle that we have been going through, that we're going through, it's very confusing. It's very confusing. So we got here. I'm going to stop this for a moment. We're going to share in a bit. We got here through that journey, and I apologize about that. I'm getting all the situation fixed technically. Because I said we are the United States of hate / love. And this was years ago. Where I was like, every day, or in the midst of every day, I experience both extremes, especially being and unapologetically in the minority group right now, that and gender group right now that's feared at times, misunderstood, undervalued, being abused and tormented and even killed. I'm not naive to what's going on. But my challenge is, in this day before the eve of the 4th of July of this country, of the United States of America, where I can love this country, but as well say, because I love you, be better. And then the next aspect that I wanted to grasp is I'm not talking to some inanimate object. I'm talking to each and every one of us. Because just like we know with any country or any organization or anything, those are names on a list. Those are employees. We are citizens. The country itself is not some inanimate object. It's us. It's you. It's me. If we don't like it, right? Change it. Now watch this. But in love, with the fuel being love. That's maybe a nuance that you'll see with Mission One Race and me as I try to walk, and the folks that are being a part of this, the folks that will be a part of our events and experiences. We're saying absolutely enough, right? But there's an invite. No matter where you've been in the conversation, how little or how much, it's an invite, a posture of humility, not of us being there and arrive, saying, no, we're going on a pilgrimage, we're going on a journey. Hey, I'm wondering if you want to go with us. And that journey, right, has begun years ago in 2018 when God said something to me when I was giving a message, and he said to me, mission. And he described to this journey that I was going to run up the coast of California, 250 miles, mission by mission, proclaiming basically that we are uniquely the same. We are, listen to that, that sounds contradictory, and it should feel like that because only God can pull something off like that, where we are uniquely the same. Every conversation of diversity, inclusion, and whatever else, if it doesn't land in sameness and in hope, and the fact that whatever we were yesterday, whatever you were yesterday, that it doesn't have to be the same, it doesn't have to define you completely, then we've missed the mark. So all of that round and round to land to this moment as us being citizen, and even if you're in another country that has an Independence Day coming up, we have an opportunity similar to New Year's, right? Listen to me, similar to your birthday. Don't act like you haven't been a person on your birthday. Like this year, I'm killing it. This year, last year I was lazy, not this year in my life, right? And we do it on New Year's as well, resolutions. So what I'm calling into action right now is July 4th has now become, in the midst of the struggle that we've been in, a new day of potential right, lament, and keeping it real of what happened. We don't get to deny it. That's how countries have moved forward in other areas, because they don't deny it, they own it, and then they say, guess what? Tomorrow's another day. Every interaction. So if we are collectively the country, and I get enough people to say, you know what, I'm going to choose over these next 8 days or 8 hours that what I did in the 243rd year of the United States, I'm not doing in the 244th year. So that's the years, by the way, 1776 to now. One of you math geniuses, which I should be, I'm technically on paper a mechanical polymer engineer, but sometimes that 1 year confuses me, right? Like, is it the 243rd year or 244th year? Correct me in the comments if you want. We'll be fine. Give or take a year, right? We, in a few hours, almost 8 hours in terms of the PDT, Pacific Coast time, sorry, East Coasters, we will be having an opportunity and having a birthday, 1201. 1201, we're having a birthday. So the choices, and I think I love that we're spreading it out. Originally, we were going to go 8 hours live. And my team was like, that's just, you're stretching it, Rich Rell. I think they like you kind of, but 8 hours live. And then I thought, then when we talked and adjusted and said 8 hours, but spread over the 8 days, making small choices and adjustments, lined up with our principles. And you see that through our curriculum that's being developed. You see that through our content that we share on our social media platforms and more in our documentary. If you haven't watched that, we'll talk more about that. I will have 3 tangible things for you to take with you, right? 3 points that I want to make, and then 3 final CTAs, call to actions. And we did start broadcasting a little later than I wanted to, but guess what? Time is flying faster than I thought, and I had a lot more down on my notes, and I'm glad time is almost out, because we're going to start an 8-minute countdown to the 4th of July. And you're saying, again, it's not midnight. Well, I wanted you guys to watch this. So we're going to replay it. We're going to replay it again at the East Coast potential 12 o'clock mark. So like at 9:30, I mean, actually 8:30. So leading into, right, 12 o'clock East Coast time. Sorry, Central time. We can't just keep replaying it. That's why I was born in Chicago. I love you, but We're not going to do it then. We're going to do it one more time here at 11:30, to where maybe you can take a moment and reflect and get with those in your family, or even share this and say, I don't really know this dude or this nonprofit, and you can check us out. But this sounds like a good concept, because let me tell you what, the pain that we put each other through, that particularly, right, certain groups in the margins through, it's not about pointing a finger at anyone else. Let me say this to someone that's specifically Anglo, and specifically white male. Here, let me flip the whole paradigm. You are not the problem. You're specifically called to be the solution. This is what I'm saying. That's the way it works. We need each other. We belong to each other. We're made to step in and help each other. We'll have a faith conversation if you want around that, but that actually is the calling. So I choose to say the solution is in each and every person, minority or not, right? Woman or man or not, faith, not faith, different faiths. You get what I'm saying? Past, present, whatever. So we're going to start this 8-minute countdown right now, right? And go to my final slide, and we're going to put some music on. We're starting our 8-minute countdown for the first time ever to the 4th of July. Let me get my PowerPoint rolling. See what we're going to do here. And we're going to start again right here. We're starting. So now this officially, believe it or not, now we're going to go back. Cue the music, Rich Rail, because if this is a celebration, let me give you a little bit of time on what you should be doing right now. Grabbing something to write down your America, what can I call it? In the 244th year, I'm going to be this, or I want my family to be this, right? Or this is how I'm going to help in this cause, and this is what I'm not going to do, right? So similar to your resolutions, the first music always starts off a little bit slow. So this one's a slower song, and then we're going to move in the last few minutes, right? Can you hear that, you guys? We're partying here. We're going to move in. So now the countdown is, again, you're writing your list. And here's my challenges as I'm talking through this last 8 minutes of the 243rd year of the United States of America. Hopefully you got the concept. Yeah, I bounce around a bit when I speak. We all know that, but hopefully you got the concept. Here's the concept. The concept is, I should be sharing out. I made a mistake. I should be sharing out. Share my screen so you can see the countdown with me, so we can do this together. Because I'm already at 6 minutes and 46 seconds. 6 minutes and 46 seconds to whatever time zone you're in, to the fact that we are counting down to a new year in our country, right? In our country that we do love, that we do know can live up to the preamble. One of the things that's in the title that you see, and in the Emancipation Proclamation, and in the Declaration of Independence, and in some other documents that we're going to share, we can live up to it. And we know that this in our actual DNA is equality. Can't get around it. In our DNA, the land of the free, we the people, so that's the title. 8 hours to choose whether or not we're going to be we the people of the United States of hate or love. And so I don't want you to get caught up in the details and say, well, that sounds too easy. Well, that's the way choices work. The way choices work, it starts within, and you say, I'm going to be different. I'm going to work out. That's the first thought that has to happen. And then, yes, you got to get your butt up and go to the gym. But I'm saying, if you start off and say, this year, I'm going to choose to be in love, not in hate, that's a choice. And then guess what? When you're at the grocery store and you say, man, this person is getting on my nerves, I got to move. And matter of fact, they're in this group, or they're of this ethnicity or gender that I've had problems with in the past. Oh, you can catch yourself and go, but I don't know this person. I don't know this person. I see the way they're dressing, but I actually don't know them. So we're going to seek to, I'm going to hit the 8 tenets that we're going to hit. And then I've got 3 final points, 3 CTAs, and we together are going to go into this next year. I'm going to turn it up, and we're going to go out to Oogie, which is the end of the song, right, in the documentary. And here's the 8 things we're going to understand in day 1. We're going to understand with humility. We're going to seek to understand what we don't understand. Then in day 2, we're going to forgive. We're going to forgive. And I'm talking specifically, again, this doesn't mean we're all going to walk out kumbaya and so forth. And I'm not talking about relational instances where people are treating you bad. That's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about assumptions based on outside outside expressions and things that that person was born with and like, or chose to live their life, judging them by that. Judging by character is actually the goal. So if you got a character issue with someone, you still love them and say, listen, we can't be that cool. Deuces. Got me? So forgive. Next is we're going to relate and build relationships with people outside of our normal sphere. And therefore that will lead to healing. Because once those friendships happen, there's something that shifts in us. And all of these we're going to flush out over the days. So those are 4 days right there. The next 4 days are connect. We're going to connect and actually see that we're connected anyway. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and reconcile then. That's our magic word. We love reconciliation, but you can't reconcile with something you're not close to or in proximity of. Last two, very important. We're going to love. And love actually is a action word. So really the last two words, one. So love, you're going to have compassion, and which means compaction to me, and we're going to act. And therefore that's when the laws, that's when I want to see the rules. That's when I want to see the amendments and whatever we need to do. Yes, I want that change. Yes, I want everyone to know Black Lives Matter, right? And other lives matter that we don't know of yet. But yes, I want the laws of the lands and systemic issues handled. But just as much, I would like hearts transformed in this. Because people can behave and still harbor hate and racism and sexism and dominance and pro and con and superiority, all of that. That's more even important. I hope we're on our final song. We're on an oogie. I can't even hear it myself, so I have no feedback in. We should be hitting our final song, and here's our 3 points. 3 points and 3 things. I'm going to switch the song if it's not on it. You guys, bear with me. We're getting this done. I am not a professional. Oh, yeah, I am a professional. It's on the song I want. Let's go out. Okay, point number 1. That from all of this, what I said, we are the United States of America. It's not some entity that we can't touch. You are. So if we get a majority of us that's saying that we're going to love and not hate, we've won. Point number 2, right? We actually have freedom. And the main expressions of freedom is the freedom to choose. Some folks do not have that. So that is an advantage in our country. Freedom to choose. And the point number 3 is choose what? Choose these 3 beacons that we believe in. Love. Choose mission, meaning others over self, meaning live our life from beyond just our circle or range of influence. And last but not least, the next level of it is choose oneness. Choose oneness. We're going to count down when we hit a minute. And I'm actually going to like call out the numbers and all that good stuff. But choose, those are the 3 things. Love, mission, and oneness. Here's the CTAs, the call to action. It's like, what do I do next? I'm kind of pumped up. I want to share this. What are we saying? Next thing. If you haven't watched it, watch the documentary, which you can find on our page and on our YouTube. It's called Man on a Mission, The Search for Oneness. So that documentary, we'll also put it down on the links here, and you can reach out to us. Next thing, okay? If you want to message us, if you're interested, because I want to have guests. I'm planning on having guests each of these hours, multiple if I can, and so forth. So if you're interested and feel like you have a voice that you or a perspective or a story to share, then actually we can do that through these next 8 days, starting tomorrow. So it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. And then we'll be launching something special on that 11th day. The last thing, as I promised you, come back. There you go. So let's count down together. How long of a countdown? Normally it's like 10. We want to do something unique with our countdown. Maybe we start at 18. And then we count it down to 18, and we're gonna. I've got my things ready. You gotta have some noisemakers around. So I want people replaying this. And folks say, wait a second, is that a tradition for the 4th of July? Let me tell you what's not a tradition for the 4th of July. Me going down south in Arkansas and blowing up my hand with a firecracker, which is actually what I did. But those were memories. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I almost died on that countdown. Happy birthday, new nation. The new nation of the United States of America. Please don't discredit anything I said based on the fact that we walked in a little bit of levity around what's been happening. The reason I have the levity is because I know how good God has been to me. I know how imperfect I am and how much I need, and I'm thankful for grace. You can both hold people accountable and have grace, love, and forgiveness for them. I ask that for anybody that I have specifically crossed, especially in the area of bias or discrimination or prejudice, which is a dangerous journey that we're on if it's not checked. And that's the thing. The invitation is join us in choosing for the next 8 hours over the next 8 days of being we the people of the United States of love. I'm not even going to say the second word. That's what we're choosing. I'm actually saying you have a choice. You do have a choice, but if you're rolling with, I think, a majority of folks, even if they're sleepers, I don't care what side of the political landscape you're on. I'm going to take this down. I don't care. I don't care what your background or faith is, or not faith. I don't care your education, your gender identity. And guess who else doesn't care? God doesn't care. Not as far as getting his love. All that stuff will be sorted out. We are not here to judge. That's not our role, our job, whatever. That's not what this movement will do. I'll talk more about the movement, but I wanted to be clear about the fact that we are on this journey. I'm excited to share so much more with you. So share, please share, come back. This is not even the first hour. This is the kickoff to it. Happy birthday, United States of America of love. So I messed it up. Say it again. Hope you love the imperfect moments. I haven't done anything in my life where I'm not screwed up. So happy birthday, we the people of the United States of love. Because America is a continent, apparently. I've been corrected a few times. So imperfect people are welcome. Love you all. Out of here.